This is Randall Root, and in this video we'll take a look at how to back up and restore a database. I have the AdventureWorks Data Warehouse of 2008. I'm going to back that up by right-clicking on its icon and choosing Tasks and the Backup option from the context menu. When it appears, I'll notice that I'm doing a full backup, and I have a very long path of where the backup file could go. Program files, Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server 10, and then down into the backup folder, and then AdventureWorks. It's important I know where it goes. I'll say OK at this point. It'll show it take a few seconds for the backup. Once I say OK, I've got a backup file I can work with. Now, of course, I'll have to open up Windows Explorer. I can do so by holding down the window key and hitting E for Windows key E for Explorer. Going down to my hard drive, looking under Program Files, Microsoft SQL Server. That was under Microsoft SQL Server 10, or was it, I think here. And finally under Backup. Now, if you lose the path for some reason, remember you can always go back and say, do a backup again. And when you do so, you'll see the path displayed again, and you can always cancel out. But now that I've found the file, it's just a matter of taking that backup file and putting it someplace useful, like putting it on a USB drive or adding it to a website someplace so that people can get access to it. To kind of mimic that, what I'll do is I have a folder I call BI Solutions, and in that folder I'm going to go ahead and put it under the AdventureWorks. So now I have a backup I want to put on another machine. Now, I have two installations of SQL Server on this machine I'm using. And in the second installation, in SQL 2008 R2, I do not have the AdventureWorks DW database. So, to restore it, I right-click on the database folder icon and choose from the context menu the Restore Database option. When it comes up, I choose From Device. From Device, it means either a file or a tape drive. You'd be tempted to choose from Database, but that just means databases that have been backed up on this installation of SQL Server at an earlier point. That did not happen here, so it's From Device. On the right-hand side, I choose the ellipsis button, and then finally choose Add. Now, when it comes up, you'll notice that I'm in 10_5. That's because it's a different installation of SQL Server, and they have their own little folders. But then again, I actually put it in a different location altogether, and that was under my BI Solution folder. So I would go and grab that backup file and say OK. I'd say OK one more time, and I should see the backup file listed. Now, from there, I will need to check the little checkbox under Restore, and then at the top, in the drop-down box, I have to give the backup a name, or the database a name. If you go to the drop-down box and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll find the name that it was called previously. The way this works is that it reads from the backup file what the name used to be. Then, on the left-hand side, we need to go to the Options menu. Under the Options menu, it's going to want to restore the database into the location it was previously, and that just won't work if it's on my machine. I mean, I've already got one running there. So I need to go through and hit the ellipse button on its file system and tell it where it's actually going to go. Once again, I'll go ahead and put it in my own personal folder here, AdventureWorks cycles that I've set aside. And the name of it, I probably want to keep the same. It doesn't really make much difference. Since I don't like typing, I think I'll just copy the last portion of the name before I hit the ellipse button on the log file. So I got a little extra slash there. I don't think I need that. Okay, now I know for a fact that these files don't exist there, so this should work just fine. If I had done this previously, in other words, AdventureWorks had been already installed on this machine and I want to override it, the top checkbox says override. So if for some reason I need to do this again with the same file location, I would have to actually go ahead and choose the override option. But since it doesn't exist, that's not an issue. And I just say OK. Looks like we're almost done. That's the message I like to see. Successfully restored. I say OK at that point, and I am now the proud owner of a new AdventureWorks DW 2008 on my other instance of SQL Server. Anyway, I hope this will help you to back up and restore a database, take out some of the confusion. That's it. I'll see you in the next video.